Minister for Ports, Shipping and Waterways, eminent speakers of the session. Could you please play the video? Yeah, Honorable Minister for Ports, Shipping and Waterways, eminent speakers of the session, distinguished delegates, experts from the industry, policy makers, representatives from ports across India and abroad, officials from different ministries and departments of Government of India, state maritime boards, FICCI, media, ladies and gentlemen. A very good afternoon to all of you. I cordially invite you to this important session on port-led industrialization, building of port cities and maritime clusters. Focal points for the session are expected to be related to leveraging port ecosystems for industrialization and generating new employment opportunities, investment scenarios and opportunities for the industry, opportunities in major ports in India, maritime clusters, developer operator perspective, experience, concerns, and future strategies, port cities learning from global best practices. Indian maritime sector has been playing a key role in economic development since ages. The oldest known port in India, Lothal, located in Gujarat, existed about 4,500 years ago. India's contribution in the world's merchandise trade during 18th century was 25%. Traditionally, ports and waterways were considered as terminals for transportation of goods and people. The need for other modes of transportation such as roads, airways, railways emerged with the growth of population over the years, but it resulted in environmental concerns. Therefore, transportation by sea and inland waterways still continues to play an important role in economic development of the world. The advantage of water transport are in terms of cost saving, reduction in rail, road traffic congestion, and decline in air pollution. With the advent of globalization, there is a paradigm shift in the port ecosystems across the ports in the world. Ports are operating beyond their boundaries, extending their logistics supply chain, providing E2E logistics, adopting state-of-the-art technology, digital business process, enabling ease of doing business, enhancing regional connectivity, etc. Ports like Busan, Shanghai, Singapore, Hamburg, Tokyo, Durban have all contributed enormously for the development of trade and industries. In India also, major industrial regions have come up in port regions, especially in the states of West Bengal, Gujarat, Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, and Kerala. We can learn from ports like Rotterdam, Singapore, Fujian, Houston, and Dubai that owe their success largely to vibrant economic clusters in vicinity. Deen Dayal Port, Kandla, on western coast is the main gateway to northern part of India and handles nearly 125 million tons of cargo. It caters to petroleum, steel, and fertilizer industry. It handles 70% of India's timber trade and poised to become furniture hub of India. Jawaharlal Nehru Port, Navi Mumbai, is the premier container port in India, handling around 7 million TEUs. The port is connected to about 200 ports in the world. It is developing satellite ports at Vadhavan and dry ports at Jalna and Wardha, Sangli, and Nashik. The port operates on hub and spoke model for cargo movement and is connected to northern India through dedicated freight corridor. Paradip Port, located in the state of Orissa, which is close to mineral-rich hinterland, handles around 114 million tons and caters to major industries in petroleum, power, steel, and aluminum sectors. Chennai Port in the state of Tamil Nadu on the east coast of India handles around 1.5 million TEUs. The port also caters to petroleum industry and is a hub port for automobiles and white goods in southern India. Shyama Prasad Mukherjee Port, Kolkata, in the state of West Bengal, is the oldest port consisting of the Kolkata dock system and Haldia dock complex and caters to jute, tea, steel, and heavy engineering, mining, minerals, cement, pharmaceuticals, food processing, agriculture, electronics, and textile industries. Visakhapatnam Port in the state of Andhra Pradesh is specialized in handling all types of cargo and caters to industries in petroleum, steel, power, fertilizer, aluminum, besides container handling. It has longest rail network among ports, second gateway port to Nepal, largest marine products exporter, first Indian seaport to run on entirely solar power. The pelletization plant in Visakhapatnam is the best example of port-led industrialization. Economies in the world have been forming maritime clusters or commodity clusters which specialize on a particular sector where they have comparative advantage in terms of skill sets, expertise, synergies, availability of raw materials, and other logistics. These facilitates higher productivity and innovation. Regional connectivity is another area that can be nurtured for port-led industrialization. India signed 11 trade agreements with different regions like BIMSTEC, ASEAN, and the Facilities Regional Cooperation. The Chabahar port in Iran, developed by India, is part of the transit and transport corridor, will connect India with Central Asia. India is currently fifth largest economy in the world and envisions to become 5 trillion economy in the next 5 to 6 years. It is forecasted India will be the fastest growing economy by 2022. Ports have an important role to play in achieving vision of India. India is bestowed with the required advantage for pursuing port-led industrialization. The long coastline of 7,500 kilometers and 12 major ports and more than 200 non-major ports. National highway network, the Golden Quadrilateral, connecting most of the major industrial, agriculture, and cultural centers of India. Development of high-speed and high-capacity railway corridors called dedicated freight corridors, Delhi and Mumbai, Delhi and Calcutta, exclusively meant for transportation of goods and commodities. Special economic zones, multimodal logistic hubs, parks, inland container depots, container freight stations, dry ports, cold chains, and highest population of young people in the world for the next decade. The government of India is adopting dynamic policies to propel significant investments in the sector. Act India Policy, Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan, Make in India. Make in India is a major national program to strengthen India's manufacturing sector by attracting investments from across the globe, utilizing existing human capital and creating employment opportunities. National Industrial Corridor Development Program aims to develop new industrial cities as smart cities. The Sagarmala program envisions number of projects and enablers which can unlock the opportunities for port-led development, port modernization, port connectivity, port-led industrialization, and coastal community development. Ministry of Ports, Shipping and Waterways has prepared a vision document called Maritime India Vision 2030. Key themes identified for India to secure its place at the forefront of the global maritime sector. The vision envisages investments opportunities to the tune of rupees 1,000 billion and new employment opportunities up to 1 million in port sector by 2030. The Major Port Authority Bill 2020 is a major milestone towards this direction. Going forward, coastal economic zones, industrial clusters, and commodity-specific industries are to be identified for each major port to act as the main vehicle for port-led industrialization. Ports have to focus on developing plug-and-play infrastructure and value-added services to drive port-led industrialization. Before I conclude, I am hopeful that the session brings out new ideas and takeaways which will be extremely fruitful. Thank you and namaskar.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ramo.